So thou, O son of man, I have set thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore, thou shalt hear the word of my mouth, and warn them from me.
Have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness, but rather expose them.
Coming to you from an undisclosed location in Middle Tennessee and examining current events from a biblical perspective, this is Bible News Radio with your hosts, Randall and Stacy Harp.
Okay, hey everybody. Welcome to this edition of Free For All Friday. Hope you guys are having a good day. What do we name this show? Oh, yeah, that's sort of. What shall it profit a man if he gain the whole world and yet loseth his soul, even on the pickleball court, people? Yep. So I wanted to say hi to everybody in the chat room. Thank you guys for coming in. And anyway, feel free to share it out if you feel like it. And Randall Pandlebear is here as well for this edition of Free For All Friday. So hey, Bearface, why don't you pop on the line here?
I'm busy.
Gotcha.
There are no messages to display.
What? There's no messages? That's because nobody's tuned in. Don't worry about it. It's all right.
Here am I.
I don't think people realize how much work it is to do this.
Probably more than it needs to be.
I wouldn't say that.
We should just lean an iPhone, against a vase or something on the table and sit there and talk to it. But no, we got to do all this multiple cameras and overlays and audio routing and comment capture. And
it's a first world pickleball problem. Yeah, it is.
I've never had trouble with audio or video on the pickleball court, but that's not true. Some people are very quiet when they announce the score before a serve.
Very true. Okay. So how many of you have ever played pickleball, huh?
I have.
This is a pickleball, actually original pickleball. It's got holes in it. Bless you. Here, catch. He didn't catch it. I knocked his headset off. He's like, really? He's gonna throw it at me, I bet. Are you gonna throw it back? Wait, thank you and good night. Okay.
Actually, I was going to quiz you about how many holes are in a pickleball.
I don't know.
You don't know?
Why would I know that?
Well, because you're like the queen of pickleball. You should know these things.
No. I am not the queen of pickleball. Okay. Just you know.
Just the queen of radio.
Well, that's what they call me.
At the UPS store,
at the UPS store, yeah. Where all my mail is sent. Are you gonna throw it back to me? Yeah?
Yeah.
Now, when I was a young one, which was many, many years ago, I actually had a baseball mitt, a glove. Yeah, I did. And I oiled it. Yeah, I did. How many of you guys played baseball or catch or something? You had the leather mitt, and you put oil in it, and you bend it, and then you sleep with it under your pillow, and I did all that. Yeah, I was really good at it. Although today, I have to say, I did not catch the ball one time during play. Nope. It's a habit. But I actually played with good people today. I mean, all my players are good. Really?
I couldn't see on the other side of these monitors, so
hold on.
I'm watching you on camera.
Oh, so you...
I should have looked over the top, too.
Anyway.
It's kind of like using a mouse, you know. You're not seeing where your hand goes. You're seeing where the pointer's pointing, and you get probably the first time you used it was kind of an awkward thing. So I was watching on camera and throwing in that direction. So
the reason I have my pickleball here is because I just got my new shirt. This
let's put your solo.
Pickleball. I don't know if they can see it.
Usapa.
Anyway, there's my USA PA pickleball shirt. Yeah, yep. If you ever wanted a frontal picture of me, there you go, right there. And I have to tell you.
Watch the replay, take a screenshot.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I have somebody, try to guess my cup size. So today it was funny. I have to laugh at this because this is funny. Okay, so today I played with my, friends and stuff. And during one of the games, Phil, who is a sweet man, all of a sudden I walked over and there's 4 men playing. And when 4 men play pickleball, just saying, it's like, it's blood sport. And all of a sudden, Phil fell to his knees, and he was in pain, and he was like, "Oh!" And he was kind of like leaned over, and I thought, what happened? I mean, like, did they hit the ball like in his stomach or what? And it turned out that they actually didn't. Nope. A little bit lower.
Or higher. Yeah, lower.
So apparently, if you hit the ball hard enough in a man's package, it can cause some pain. But it couldn't have happened to a nicer guy. He is such a guy. Such a sweet guy. Hey, I've had the ball hit me like here. I've had it hit me on the breast. I've had it hit me on the arm. I've had it hit me on the leg numerous times. I got hit like right here once. That was painful. I mean, gotta watch out, This game is dangerous. But it's fun, Anyway, so how are you guys all doing here? I see everybody in the chat room. Just gonna shout y'all out as a group. Say hi to everybody. And, go ahead and just hope you're doing okay. Feel free if you want to share this out, go for it. As you know, this is Free for All Friday. And, this is where we talk about whatever we feel like it. Yeah. And actually, the reason I brought up pickleball is because, first of all, it's fun. But what was really super cool today, how many of you guys actually do something out of your comfort zone? And you're like, Lord, I don't really want to do this, but you go ahead and you do it anyway. All right. So for me, that's one of those things where I'm like, really? So what happened today was there was a lot of us who were playing, and then a lot of us left. And so many people left that there wasn't enough of us to actually still play. There was like a handful of us left to play. And there was 3 children who are on the side court, and they're like, we want to play. And so I was kind of like going, do I really want to play with these kids? Because they're kids, and they don't know how to play this game. And I'm trying to get some steps in, and blah, blah. All this goes on in my head. And I thought, you know what the heck? I'll play one game with them. And they had to be, there was 2 boys, and then there was 1 girl. And the girl was taller than me, and I'd say she has to probably be, I don't know, 10. She's really super tall and very thin. And
10 feet or?
No, 10 years old at least. And then the kids were probably 8 or 9. I mean, they were little kids. They weren't really big, huge kids. I mean, the paddles were like as big as they are. And so anyway, so I was like, okay, Lord, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to bless these children. I'm going to teach them how to play pickleball. And so I got up there and one of the, if you're a nice person, you actually take the paddle and you hit it soft, across the court so that they could hit it back to you. and you hit it high. You know, you hit it high. You don't hit it low. You don't hit the super fast serve like where it just barely gets over the net, which, you know, I can do, by the way. I'm really good at that one, actually. So I was like, okay, God, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to play pickleball with these kids. So I went ahead and I served the ball, hit it over, and then, you know, I was teaching them how to score and everything, because in pickleball, the score is different. You got to score, you know, 1, 1, and then 0. And when you start, it's like 0, 0, 0, 2 to start, okay? Or, you know, you could just say start. Or 2, you know, 0, 0, yeah, 2. Anyway, long story short, the two boys, because I took the girl, of course, the two boys were having some troubles getting the serve in. And so I was like, you can do it. And they're like, no, I can't. I'm like, yeah, you can. You can do it, because they kept messing the serve up. So the rule is, if you're a nice person, you let them keep serving until they actually get it where it's supposed to be hit. So they're serving it there. And anyway, so they served it, and it was great and everything. And I was just super proud of them. And the boys were like leading me and the girl like by 5 points. And so the girl, there's an ant over here. Caught another ant. Anyway, so the girl, she had struggled with serving a little bit, so we did that back and forth and stuff, and eventually I caught us all up, and then it was tied. Yeah, it was 9-9. The game goes to 11, just so you know. So it was tied at 9, and I had a choice. The choice was, do I break into super, you know, adult 3.5 pickleball player mode, or do I stay or do I stay in, you know, teaching the children pickleball mode? And so I decided, because I had to break into 3.5 pickleball mode in order to get some points in order to catch up, that, you know, I stayed in the thing. And it was so funny, because the little guy, he was like, oh my gosh, I got 10, we beat you. And I'm like, nope, you got to win by 2. He's like, what? And I'm like, you got to win by 2. He's like, what? I said, you have to win by 2. He's like, so is it still my serve? I go, yeah, go ahead. And anyway, so then he lost to serve. And then my partner, she had to serve, and she missed the serve. And so then I served, and my opponent, this little guy, was so confident. He's like, you know what? I'm going to stand up here. Okay, so first of all, when you're receiving the ball, you should stand behind the line, like as if you were serving the ball, right? And this little guy was like, you know, I'm gonna come up here like 3 feet, and I'm going to stand in the middle of the box. And I'm like, you're supposed to get back. I don't care. I'm like, are you sure? Because I'm going to hit this right at your feet. He's like, go ahead. And I'm like, really? He's like, yeah, watch me. I'm like, I've created a little monster here. So I was like, okay. So I went ahead, and I admit I went into 3.5 pickleball player mode, and I slammed the ball right at his feet. He dances back, and he gets the racket. He's like, like that, and he hits it, and it goes right in front of my partner, who this was her first time playing. Bounces it, she hits it, and the next thing you know, the ball went out, and we lost the game. But you should have seen the joy on this little kid's heart. He's like, oh my gosh, I beat you. Which raises the question, as an adult, should you throw a game for a child, or should you really just kind of play up to par and build the confidence of little guys and little girls? I mean, you know, that's kind of what I do. I don't know. What do you think, Randall?
About what?
About, you know, teaching a child how to play a good game.
Well, certainly.
You know, because it was a close game.
Yeah, I think I've got,
Grover's
while I'm
barking.
sitting back, I guess, well, if I move forward, then my head kind of feels the frame. I'm going to...
You have a big head, that's why.
Yeah, I'm going to size you down a little bit.
You're going to
Like
size
that.
me down?
Yeah, I just did.
Yeah. My hair is really big and fluffy.
There it is.
Yeah, it is.
But yeah, I think that's good. You know, they learn that way. If you know, any game of some complexity beyond, you know, Go Fish, you know, that requires and has rules and stuff like that. I mean, if you sat down a child and said, hey, let's play chess, and you go into, Super Chess Master mode and, end it in 4 moves, I mean, what do they learn?
Nothing.
Right, so, well, they learn to be a good sport, I guess, hopefully, and then what it's like to lose. But yeah, for beginners, especially children, you need to take it easy on them so they can get to learn the fundamentals.
Yeah, but then you know what I noticed? Phil was over in the other court, and he was playing one of the adults who was disabled, who wanted to play.
Differently abled.
Yeah, different. I don't know the proper languages, but anyway. And I was like, "Aw, he's so sweet." See, and that's what I wanted to share. Really, I wanted to share with you. As adults, we have so much power to influence and impact a kid. And it's funny because I've worked with kids for a long time, but what I am specifically happy about is that when kids want to exercise, let them exercise. You know what I mean? I mean, we grew up in a day and age where it was cool to ride our bikes and whatever. We could be gone for 5 hours and nobody would care. Today, if a kid's gone for 5 hours doing the same things we did as a kid, they could be kidnapped or something. So, I mean, it's a different world, and a lot of children are connected really highly on video games and things like that. So I always want to try to encourage children that I see who want to participate in a sport. And, sometimes, honestly, it's like, hey, I'm not there to, babysit your kid or play with your kid. But then there's other times where it's like, yeah, I can do this, because it's important, teaching children how to play games, how to interact, how to have social interaction is extremely important and valuable. And so pickleball is a good game to play. I happen to know one of my BFFs in California just sent me an email a couple of days ago. There's actually a brand new pickleball center down in Cypress. They have launched it down there in California, finally. So next time I go to California, I'm going to play. And I don't know wherever you guys are at. If you want an easy sport that isn't hard on you, and that you can play at a light way or you can play it hard, check it out. It's a fun game, unless you're really, really horrible. But Randall can play it, so I think you guys can play it. Mm-hmm. Yep. Bareface is pretty good. Yep. Just so you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't play often.
But we might be able to play Tuesday night. Pretty soon we can play on Tuesday night.
Yep.
Yep.
Next month.
Yep. All right. So today I also
with 6 courts available to us.
Yeah. Well, today I want to also let you know that I had an interview over on our Bullhorn app. If you're not following us over there, you can go ahead. You can do that. If you want, you can download it. Follow Bible News Radio. You can listen to the archive of the interview I did with Randy Dawkins.
You did. I
just got a message from Randy, and anyway, and Randy said he says he hoped they enjoyed it. So yes, I think that they did. I have actually no doubt they enjoyed it. But you can check it out, download the app. I'm hoping that there will be a little bit more traction on that app, hopefully, as they develop it and promote it a little bit more. Right now, there's really not a whole bunch of traction on the app. So.
And for those of you who may be new and don't know what the app is, the easiest way, well, you can go to getbullhorn.com, or if you don't remember that, if you head on over to our website, put the label up there, URL BibleNewsRadio.com, click on the resources tab, and there in the top row you'll see a little tile there for Bullhorn app. Click on that, and there's a button to learn more, and you can read all about the app and what it is. You can stand out, be heard, and just look at the website. It's available in the Google Play Store as well as the Apple App Store. Mm-hmm. And so encourage you to check it out.
Well,
y'all.
Yeah, what's really cool is there's stats and stuff that you get on your shows. You can tell who listened in. So that gives you an idea who's engaged when people start to follow you and stuff. So that is a good thing because, well, it just helps. It helps in general. Yeah, it does. Okay, so the question is, what shall it profit a man? And there's kind of a double play on that. Okay, so Bareface, you know the context of that, right?
In Scripture?
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
Share with the masses, if you don't mind.
Well, Yeshua, Jesus, was telling a parable about a man whose land basically yielded plenty, and his barns could not store the yield that particular year. And he says, well, what am I going to do? He says, well, I know, I'll tear down these barns, build bigger ones, to store all this grain. It doesn't specifically grain, but, it's probably whatever yield of the land to store all this. Because you wouldn't store fresh fruits in any kind of a barn or, granary. If you're going to store it up, grain keeps a long time. Anyway, that was all for free. Anyway,
yeah,
and he says, well, now that I've got all this stored up, I say to my soul, basically, kick back, eat, drink, and enjoy, and, enjoy life, because I don't have to work hard now, because, I've got more than enough for the future. And the Lord says to him, you fool. God says to him, you fool, you don't know that this night your life will be required of you. And, when you're gone, whose shall these things be? These things you stored up, they won't do you any good. And so he asks, what will it profit a man if he gain the whole world, but loses his own soul? Yeah. So that's the context.
You're so smart.
Thank you. Do I need to point you to a chapter and verse?
I don't know. Maybe a couple people would like it. I don't know. Put a 1 if you need the verse. We'll go ahead and give it to you. Or you can get online yourself and Google it.
Yeah, Matthew 16. Matthew chapter 16.
So, there you go. Alrighty. Okay, so we have had a very interesting week on the show. And I don't know if you realize this, but part of what we did this week was we actually talked a lot about the resurrection. The resurrection of Christ is what we talked about for most of it. And I'm just curious, how many of you actually learned something new when Randall and me were talking about it? And of course, we had Doug Woodward, who's a pillar of our community, on the show, also talking about various and sundry things. And just so you know, sundry means various. So technically, I just said various and various things. I don't know how that phraseology came out. Oh, by the way, I should also read a little message I got earlier. Let's see here. I should read a message that I got from somebody who tuned into the show, and I want to thank them. Let's see here if I can find it. Ruth tuned in, and I'm not going to read the whole thing because it's kind of personal, but they did say that they came across our show and we were talking about transgender issues, that they love our honesty and commitment to the truth, and even though we might disagree on some theological issues, they're not offended, which is good because I think we talked about being offended yesterday. And she said she was touched by an episode where I talked about my dad and the abuse I had gone through. And then she shared some other personal stuff. But anyway, she said that she was going to be praying for us and appreciative of our pursuit of truth. And so Ruth in the UK, thank you for that. I appreciate it. It means more to me than you know, because it's increasingly more, well, I don't know how to put it. If it's controversial, to be honest, that's one thing. But if people get offended because you're honest, that's another thing, right? And so going back to the issue of, what shall it profit a man if he gain the whole world and lose his soul?
Yeah, getting back to that, you people have already captured and taken it, and you're going to show that I'm wrong. While Yeshua does ask that in Matthew chapter 16 and in Luke chapter 9, Mark chapter 8, I was totally wrong in the context about the parable.
Ah, you false teacher.
I am a false teacher.
I'm calling you out right now. Heathen, heretic, false prophet, false apostle, false disciple of Jesus.
Yeah.
You're Judas.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are.
Well.
Sorry, no, you're not.
Yeah.
but but there's a.
But yeah, Matthew chapter
Matthew
chapter 16. Yeshua said to his Talmudim, his disciples, if anyone would come after me, let him disown himself, take up his cross, and follow me. Whoever may will to save his life shall lose it, and whoever may lose his life for my sake shall find it. For what is a man profited if he gain the whole world but his life suffer loss? Well, that's that particular translation. And in Luke chapter 9, similar thing. If come after me, let him disown himself, take up his cross, follow me. And then he asks, for what man is profited having gained the whole world? You know what? The one you were quoting, that it's actually where your treasure is, that's where your heart is. That was the whole parable. That's how that one ended. Okay. When you're talking about storing up stuff. Right. But I'm sorry. No, it's all right. Yeah, so in all three of the synoptic gospels. A humble false prophet. Yeah, so in all three of the synoptic gospels, the question about, what profit is there, what gain is it to, well, basically it says, what profit, to gain the whole world, but forfeit your soul or forfeit your life. And all those, it's about being his disciple, taking up your cross and following him. Yep. So. It's easier said than done, though. Which is that? To follow Christ or take up your cross and follow him. Indeed. So, very interesting. So the pickleball, here it is, people, in case you want to. Non sequitur. It is, really. So this is Free for All Friday. So what do you guys want to talk about? We'll take your questions and comments. All right. Well, I can tell you what I was reading about. Okay, go ahead. This program. A couple things. Pick a topic. False flag, Chinese Bibles or German Bibles. Okay. So... Pick a topic. Oh, these are three different topics? Yeah. Okay, how about Chinese Bibles? Well, Chinese Bibles, for a long time, it has been the law in China that Bibles can only be sold in churches, church bookstores, only available in a church. Right. And they've recently realized a loophole here in the 21st century is that people have been able to purchase them online, from other places outside the country. So they actually just discovered this? Well, they've known it, but it went into effect this week that they shut that down. So it's illegal to sell a Bible online. So even outside retailers, Amazon and all that, you can't. They've taken them off the retail sites for China, and you can't buy a Bible online. Of course, you can buy books on, you can buy books on Taoism or Buddhism. You can even buy the Quran online. According to the UK Sun, the Quran even has, the equivalent of an ISBN in China. It's a regular retail item for purchase, but the Bible has never had a registration number in China, and you cannot buy one except for in a church. So, of course... And they're printed by Amityville Press, which is the largest Bible distributor and printer in the world. And apparently it's... Ironically. That's gone down. I mean, they're still the largest printer, but their Bible production has gone down because of a lack of funding for paper. And... Voice of the Martyrs, I think they do Bibles in China with Bibles Underground. Bibles Unbound? Bibles Unbound, yeah. Mm-hmm. But then, they're not sold. They're delivered and... Clandestinely, actually. Yeah. Anyway, so sort of a loophole there that I'm sure will be shut down as well. I'm not sure, but given that this week they've shut down on any online purchase of Bibles, It says a lot. Why is that such a threat? I mean, there's no, like I say, you can buy Quran online, no problem in China, and get one of those. That's not seen as any kind of, taboo.
Do you know where the ants are coming from?
No, I do not.
Do you have any ants on your side of the table?
I don't see any.
This is the third one I've seen.
Do you have any sort of food over there?
No.
Well, if we can figure out where they're coming in, I know how to deal with them.
Kill them, people.
Well,
yeah, sorry about that. I'm a little bit distracted. You heard China has been smuggling Bibles by verse through fortune cookies.
that'd be clever, actually.
It would be, but I actually,
They're printed outside.
Actually, a couple years ago, I had a lady on our show. I'm trying to think of her name. It'll come to me in a minute after Ethan Pope. Janet Pope. Janet Pope is who I had on the show. Janet Pope. Pope. Anyway, she actually has memorized half the books of the Bible. Literally, has memorized it, and she actually goes in and she teaches people in churches, and in particular Chinese American churches. She's gone in, taught them how to memorize scripture. And then what they do is they send these Chinese Christians back to China, and they go ahead and they actually they actually handwrite the Bible. And the other thing too is a lot of people, what they don't realize is that they often can get media different ways. And I know of one guy, because I learned a lot when I wrote the blog for Voice of the Martyrs. There were some people who do transmission radio stuff, like Far East Broadcasting. They do a lot of broadcasting and stuff, and people will kind of get a radio and they'll get some paper and pen and they'll listen to the radio, and the people who are on the radio will intentionally read the Bible very, very slow, because they know that there are people who are on the other side actually writing down what they're saying, because it's the only way that they can hear the gospel. There's 2.5 billion people, I think, approximately, who still have never heard the gospel in the world. In fact, I have a guy that I'm going to be coming, he's going to be coming on the show, and we're going to be talking about the unreached people still. There's like 2.5 billion people. Now, I don't know about you, but for me, that's crazy. That's a crazy number, because, I was blessed to be raised in America where I could get a Bible freely, for the most part, after my mom let me have one. But, I mean, to think about that, I think that there's tribes and people out there who've never heard the gospel. They've never heard the name of Yeshua or Jesus. They've never heard what he did, and they will eventually, but I mean, think about that. That blow you away that there's still people in the 21st century in the world who've never heard the gospel. I mean, you take it for granted if you've heard it, but it's kind of crazy to me that there are still people who have never heard it. I mean, what do you think of that, Bareface?
It's sobering, and I believe it. There's a whole 1040 window thing, and
that stopped.
Yeah, just wonder what you're doing.
I'm going like this, and my ring is tapping it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it sounds rhythmic. Just admit it. I know Janet Parcel would never do this.
Probably not.
Nope.
That's good.
Because Janet rides horses, I don't.
Yeah. That's why she would never roll a pickleball in her hand.
Nope. Because she probably can't play like me. Besides, I could beat her anyway.
No doubt. Because you don't even know if she plays.
I could beat Vicky too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could.
Anyway.
Just so you know, just because she's tall doesn't mean that I can't beat her at pickleball. Oh, yeah. Right, people? Put a 1 if you think I can beat Vicky Fitch at pickleball. Yeah, I can. But anyway, go on.
Do you even remember what you were talking about?
You were talking about the 1040 window.
Right.
Yeah.
I just wondered if you remembered. Anyway, one you know, our Lord said that this gospel will be preached to the whole world, and then the end will come. And so the end has not come, so we know that the gospel has not gone to the whole world. And to learn that it's, you know, approximately 2.5 billion people, and, you know, people groups that the gospel has never come to, which is amazing. And I look at things like with SpaceX recently launching 5 Iridium satellites. You know, Iridium, they were the satellite phone providers. Anyway, they went bankrupt, and their satellites were for sale. I guess that, I don't know who picked them up, who bought them, but 5 additional ones have been, are now in orbit. And I look at what's going on with that, and this is to provide where there's no lack of internet anywhere in the face of the earth. That's the goal, that you can't go anywhere without the net, which is really kind of interesting from a, you know, sort of a deep state conspiracy sort of view, or a, you know, or a 1984 Orwellian kind of point of view. But at the same time, it's promising, and like you say, because of the way that the gospel is getting into places, that it may open some doors, depending on, I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, as communications increase, whereas it makes the population of the earth more trackable, especially spreading the net across the globe.
Yep.
It may also open some doors for spreading the gospel. Just saying, interesting.
You notice the pink on his nose? Do you notice the pink on his nose? That's from my lipstick. Yeah. Okay, so this is Mr. I want to say hi, everybody. Hi, my name's Mr. Can we interview you right now? What do you think of Brandel as your dad? I could do this. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You know, we're going to have SPCA investigators come to our house now. Somebody's going to make that call. What's up, T-Dog?
Yeah. Yep. Well, this is Mr. Yeah, it is Mr. You can't probably hear us, but he wanted to get on my lap, but now he wants to get down. Can you believe that? The nerve. He's camera shy. Not really. We cleverly decided
I think we might want to go out.
I tried to let him out before the show.
And did you want to go?
No.
Well, he's made a couple trips, you know, kind of down the hall and back.
I think he's getting his toy. He wants to play.
Okay.
He literally is chewing on his toy. Hold on. Come here. Go get it. There you go. There you go, people.
Now, I know Janet Parshall would never do this.
I think it was a bad idea to book this show during
What used to be
their dinner time.
Yeah.
Go get it.
All right.
This is Free for All Friday. Wait. Can you imagine I have an A-list guest? Hey, hold on just a second while I play with my dog during our interview.
That was Chinese Bibles. Let's see if... no Facebook comments yet.
Nope. There was some people that came in and then they left. I don't know why.
I can't imagine.
Me neither.
Yeah.
This is so... You know what's the weirdest thing about this? Is that everybody, for whatever reason, loves this show on Free for All Friday. And sometimes I'm like, why are you people even watching this show? Do you not have anything better to do with your day?
For sure.
Here, you want it? Go get it. All right, he's going to get it again.
Well...
Stacy and Randall, yeah, we're so professional here at Bible News Radio. Hey, we should thank our sponsor.
That's a great idea.
Who loves us. Hello, Emmanuel Smith. Nice to see you.
You going to do that?
Yeah. So, earlier today I had Randy Dawkins on the show.
Oh.
Over on Bullhorn, but there's a point. He has studied Messianic Jewish history, just so you know. And so Ariel Ministries really actually fits in with that. They are our sponsor. I'm very thankful for them. Anyway, if you guys use the coupon code Bible News, as you know, as in Bible News Radio, some people can't handle joyfulness. Yeah, it's true. And yeah, it's your favorite. I know it's my favorite too. I didn't even prepare for this, which is clearly obvious. Anyway, Ariel, if you go to the website, you can use the coupon code Bible News to save 20% on anything. And if you go over to our website and go to the resources page, if you go over there, we're giving a free Bible study about the resurrection of the Messiah there. And it is actually 32 pages or 39. Something. I think it's 39. Anyway, I've had it linked in my email, so you just click on that and go and download it. You
39.
Yeah, you don't need to put
Free 39-page Bible study.
Yeah, you don't need to put in your email or anything. And then the other
email required, just click the button to download.
No, but of course we want you to join our email list too. I write good stuff in that. I write controversial stuff in it. I write stuff people are probably reading going, "Do you hate me or something? Did you write that?" No. I did, but anyway, and there's some other Messianic resources also on the website which you can check out. Just don't forget, whenever you go to Bible News Radio, if you go to ariel.org, use Bible News and save 20%. That's very important. And you know what? This weekend, interestingly, last weekend it was Passover. This weekend it's the Feast of First Fruits, just so you know. And so if you're like me, you want to listen to some Messianic teaching, you can learn a lot of that on the Ariel website. If you go to the Come and See section, Come and See, S-E-E, come and see. And Pro, hey, nice to see you. Nice that you're in there. Anyway, and you can just listen to the teaching too with Dr. Arnold Fruchtenbaum. But the Maps book, you have the graphic about that.
I was about to mention that.
Yeah, Ariel Maps. Ariel, they have great maps. You know what? I haven't gotten the books yet. When I do, I'll be able to show it to you. But they're big 8.5 by 11 type books, and they're really, really good, in my opinion. If you're a Bible study student, if you're somebody who doesn't really study the Bible, you're not going to want this book or any other book that we're recommending from Ariel, because it's all really about discipleship and Bible study. Which hopefully, you want to engage in, which is a good thing. That's how you know who's a false prophet and who's a, whatever you call it. So, yeah, there you have it. I'm trying to remember. Oh, yeah, our pillars. By the way, I got to tell something to you pillar people. Those of you who are pillars of the community. I want to do a meetup on Bullhorn because I want to see how this is going to work. Are you leaving? I think Randall's going to leave. They're actually, you know what? I don't know if they're current maps or not. The description is actually on the website. If you go to Ariel and look at it, you can look at it. There's one that's outdated. It's cheaper. It's like $21 and some change when you use the discount code. It's 70% off, but with my code, it's 90% off. Why are you laughing? Where are you going? All right, now that Randall's gone. Do you want to hear a secret about Randall? Do you? He'll never know because he doesn't listen to the replay. Shh. Be very, very quiet. Okay, put a 1 if you want me to tell you a secret about Bareface. I guess nobody cares, right? Okay. Oh, you do. Okay. Did you know that Randall loves blueberries? Yeah, he does. And do you know that he likes to put blueberries in his yogurt? And also, he likes them in waffles. Yeah, he does. So you know what you all should do? You should tweet him, "Hey, Mr. Blueberry Man, I heard that you love blueberries, and I think that, you look cute wearing blue. I dare you." The key word is blueberries. See, bet you didn't know that about my man, did you? Nope. Not until I spilled the blueberries here on the show. Now, seriously, what did you think I was going to say? I mean, oops. Did you think I was going to say anything, more important? Okay, there we are. We're back. Yeah, it's a healthy choice for sure. Blueberries are actually really good for you. They're low glycemic food. And so if you're diabetic, you can actually eat them without, spiking your blood sugar and stuff. Not that I would know that because I'm not diabetic, but just so you know, that is so true. All right. Okay, one other thing. How many of you, just because I'm being nosy, how many of you actually have your taxes done? I know some of you don't live in America, so you're like, nah, I don't really care. But just so you know, me and Bareface, we kind of sort of do, but I'm not sure yet if we owe anything. If you're watching on Facebook, you have to put a comment so I can see who you are. I see there's a couple of you watching, but for whatever reason, you're being anonymous. Yeah, you are. So. Oh, you do? Cool. Yeah, you do. All right. That's awesome. Yep. There is about a 20-second delay. I have to tell you, it's so difficult to have a conversation because it's like there's this like massive delay there. So this weekend, I would ask you guys to pray for me because tomorrow, I don't know how many of you know this, but yesterday, all week, I have been in super daughter, power of attorney, super caregiver mode. I'm moving my dad tomorrow. And all week, I have been doing like tons of meetings and writing big fat checks and, buying a bed, signing papers, buying an internet telephone, getting a TB test. I mean, you would not believe the stuff that you have to do in order to move an old person from one assisted living facility to another assisted living facility. Anyway, long story short, tomorrow is moving day, and it's supposed to snow here tomorrow. Not only that, but apparently there's this big festival in Columbia, Tennessee called Mule Day. No, I'm moving my dad from one assisted living to another one. And anyway, long story short, it could be snow, it could be snowing, it could be sleeting. I don't know, because I know the East Coast has been hit with snow. And anyway, so it's been quite the interesting experience this week. Well, it's been over a period of a month, but really this week has been the kick butt week for me. So tomorrow, if you guys don't mind just keeping us in prayer. My dad doesn't have a ton of stuff to move. But the big thing, what I found out that his girlfriend, Anne, ended up in the hospital. And so just put yourself in this position just for a minute. Here you are, the kid that your dad a couple years ago gave the power to rule over his life until he dies, basically. And you have to make a financial decision based on what he has. But that decision is difficult because he's sorely attached to this woman he isn't married to in this place where he currently lives. What do you do? Well, I had to do it because there's no way I couldn't do it because it would have been very unwise for me not to do it. But meanwhile, you break her heart, you broke his heart, and the $4,000 a month to keep somebody in an assisted living where they're not even getting bathing care, okay? And you think about that for a minute. And this is something I just want to vent about just for a minute. Because as somebody who's younger, taking care of a man 40 years older than me, I have to tell you, the way that these facilities gouge people really irk the crap out of me, okay? I'm just going to say that right now. It is absolutely ridiculous to me that that it costs $1,000 a week to house somebody and give them food and medicine. And you're paying extra to give them the medicine, right? Don't you guys think that's gouging the elderly? The veterans, in fact? I mean, seriously. And then these places, what they do is they will do an increase, a couple $100s a year on the rent of the little dinky shoebox apartment they're living in. And the VA and Social Security and all that might give your relative like a $10, $15 a month, increase. They call that the cost of living. And I'm like, unless you are independently wealthy and you have a big, huge family that's trying to take care of your loved one, that is so wrong. It is so, so wrong. So I had to make the choice. And it was hard because you don't want to break your dad's heart or anybody else's heart. And you know what it's like watching an 87-year-old woman melt down like she's, lost the love of her life. I mean, it's horrible. It's horrible. Now she's in the hospital. I don't even know what for. And I got to move my dad tomorrow in the midst of this celebration of mules in Tennessee. And I don't get it. Don't ask me. I have no idea why Mule Day is so funny or such a big deal. But anyway, so it's been very stressful, The good news, though, and I will share this. The good news is the place I'm moving him, it turns out it's not. I mean, I thought it was going to be super cheap, a lot more cheaper, but it's not. It's only a couple $100s cheaper a month, but he's going to get bathing care, which is very important. But then the thing is he's probably going to fight with the people who try to help him, because people with dementia fight their caregivers. The nurses, I don't want you seeing me naked. No, especially when you're an old man, just saying, So it's going to be a huge adjustment. He's going to get used to a new bed, a new place. Granted, this place looks way better than the other one. And I was in tears, man. I've been crying all week because it's like, it's like being a parent to your parent when you never had kids, so you're not even sure how to be a parent. But yeah, anyway. So the good news is he's going to live a few minutes from me, so I'll be able to see him all the time and eat his lovely food at the new place. But you know what I also found out? Another new place around here. I met a couple who's moving their family into the place I'm moving my dad. And I found out that they actually lost the guy's clothes and they forgot to get him for dinner. It's like, what? Yeah, dementia does have a lot of anger attached to it. And he doesn't just have dementia. He's also got Parkinson's. So my dad has a very flat affect and, yeah, and stuff. So it's just going to be a stressful time. It's been very stressful. So those of you guys who know us, you love us and sometimes hate us, just keep praying for us. Because once tomorrow is over and he's there, then I can get him some new teeth and I can do some other stuff I haven't been able to do, because when he's, so far away and there's so much time out of your day. I mean, on average, it's a 5-hour day if I have to take him to the doctor. No lie. And, here it will be only a couple hours because he'll be a few minutes from me. I don't have to drive an hour to get him, or a half hour. So anyway, so that's tomorrow. And I just have to say, look, to all of you out there who have elderly parents that you take care of, and I know there's some of you that do, bless your heart. And I mean that in the best way possible, because it is like hard. It is hard. I mean, I know it's hard to be a parent, but it is hard to be a child to a parent who, you look at the shell of the person. My dad taught me how to golf many years ago. And one of my happiest memories, because I didn't grow up with him, was when I learned how to hit the ball in the air. And we were in Florida, and I was, hey, Dad, I did it. I hit the ball. He's like, just be careful, don't hit it in the water. And I'm like, why would I do that? He's like, trust me, just do it. So anyway, I hit the ball and landed it in the water. And just as my dad said, a crocodile would come out. Sure enough, Florida, there are crocodiles. Anyway, and so the crocodile ran up and I went, there's a crocodile. And I guess I scared it because it went back into the water after that. I wonder how many golf balls a crocodile eats in Florida. That would be an interesting thing to find out. Got to kill the crocodile first and then cut it open and see if there's any golf balls in there. I wonder if they call them golf ball stones. Elimination would be hard, don't you think? Anyway. I am so sorry. That was probably not appropriate, but anyway. And you know what? I have to honestly say that my husband, you know, is such a great man. I mean, he really is. You know, he is... Randall is such a servant. He has such a tender servant's man's heart that, you know, my dad loves and adores my husband. I mean, he will tear up and cry and talk about how great Randall is, because he is. And Randall doesn't see himself as great. But you guys, you know, you have to know that...
Really good, but not great.
That Randall
Very good, but not
Randall
quite
is
great.
really great. Randall is so... He is so much like the Lord, you know?
Oh,
He
careful
is,
there.
I mean, he is
You know, it's raining right now. There is a chance of lightning.
No,
so-
well, but no, you are a humble servant, meek, very wise. You know, you have good judgment of character, great taste in women.
Obviously. Goes without saying.
Tony is saying Randall make me a sandwich. He would, actually. Me? I'm not sure. But no, but you know, he is.
I would not make someone a sandwich. I may make a sandwich for
somebody,
someone, but
yeah.
I would never make someone a sandwich. It's not in my ability.
But it's so true. I mean, doesn't it make you feel good to know that your father-in-law loves you,
Yeah, but it's good.
you know? And that you can sit with him and listen to the same old story 500,000 times and,
Yeah,
you know.
nothing wrong with that. Yeah, there are movies that I enjoy seeing again and again. Yeah, I know how they turn out, but so there's stories. Well, I don't enjoy all the stories. They're changing up. They're kind of multi-threaded now.
Well, you know,
Where he'll start telling one and it morphs into another and morphs into another one yet before finishing the first one.
You know what my favorite stories are that my dad tells? They have to do with what he dreams about. He dreams about me a lot. Leaving, dying, you know, fun stuff like that. I'm like, don't tell me any of these dreams. I don't want to
Telling him
die.
off.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that was good. I totally forgot about that.
Anyway,
Yeah, when I told my dad I was moving him, he had a dream that I had flipped him off, told him off, used the F word and some other choice things. I was like, okay.
tell us
yeah.
how you really feel.
Yeah. But see, my dad's very tactful, even in his old age with dementia and Parkinson's. He's very, you know, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to forget some of the coaching I've gotten. I instead will say, you know, I had a dream. And then put the parable in the dream and say, this is really about you. No, I'm just kidding. You should try it, though. Then let me know how, you know, how...
Goes over.
Yeah. No, in all seriousness, no, it is, you know, it's a very maturing process to take care of an old person. Look, my mom died when she was 57. I was in my 30s and in grad school when my mom died of cancer. You know, and when you deal with a loved one that has cancer, a lot of you guys know Larissa's dealing with her husband that has cancer. He's young. I mean, he just turned 51.
But he's doing all right.
Yeah, but you know, the thing is when you deal with that, you go through it and you see the decline and the evilness of the disease. You're kind of like, man, it really makes you think about the meaning of life when you're watching people die, especially your mother. You know, I mean, come on. How many of us, especially women, we have love-hate relationships with our moms, most of us, you know, and it's like, I wouldn't wish cancer on my worst enemy. Not that I have any enemies, but I certainly wouldn't wish it on anybody because it's a horrible, rotten, devilish, evil disease. And it's just, you know, to see somebody waste away who, you know, and it's life. Listen, work with him. Don't, yeah, I'm not. Anyway, so that's interesting. And then I never thought I would actually get to know my father. So the fact that I actually know my dad after all these years, but he is not the man that, you know, he's a completely different person. And yet, you guys, just in case you didn't know, if it wasn't for that man, I wouldn't be here. Torturing you all every day on Periscope and Facebook and YouTube and Spreaker, just so you know. So, hey, what you like of me, you got to blame it on him in part, because he actually has my sense of humor, which is very funny, because I didn't get it. I don't even know how I got it from him. And you know what? He doesn't like fish, neither do I. So don't ever send me any fish. Unless it's goldfish crackers. But even then, too many carbohydrates. And, you know, all that. So the wisdom of the ages is to sit and learn. You know, and what's interesting is there's a man who's a retired pastor in this place. And he is an anointed man of God. And I don't use that word lightly. I think he really is genuinely anointed. He's the type of guy that you can just sit and listen to. He has one of those voices where you're like compelled to listen. You know, it's like you just want to listen. It is. It's totally painful. And anyway, and so I'm hoping that my dad connects with this guy and you know, and all that stuff. Yeah. So anyway, so that is my day tomorrow. So we ask you guys to pray for us. Thank you guys for supporting us. And next week we're going to be doing some more apologetics. I'm going to be booking some guests. I've kind of withheld doing guests for a couple of weeks because of this move, and I want to make sure that everything went smoothly. So that in the event I had to cancel something, you know, I could just do it and not have to impact a guest. You know what I mean? So, so here's what I say to you. Tomorrow I can't play pickleball, so some of you should go get your own pickleball ball on. And go play. Have some fun, people. Yeah, go have some fun. Eat some banana pudding or something. By the way, I had the first banana pudding at assisted living. It was really good. You should try it. Banana pudding is good for you. Yeah, it is. Oops. So, do you want to say anything else? Anybody? No? Okay. All right. Thank you. I'm not always kind, though. Trust me. No, I try to be, but there are some times you just want to smack somebody. But I don't do that very often. All right. Okay, everybody. So if you want to be bold, stand up and go with God t-shirt, go over to our website, check that out. But always remember, be bold, stand up and go with God because he loves you. And so we will be back. Are you going to do a show Sunday? Do you know?
I'll do one tomorrow and Sunday.
Randall's going to do, we'll be back tomorrow. Bareface will be back tomorrow. Right? Should I throw the ball at him? Should I? Banana pudding is good. Yeah, it is. All right, so on that happy ending, I'm going to throw the ball at the camera. Ready? Here we go. Oops, didn't quite get it.
Oh, wow.
Show over?
No.
Nope.
Well, you're moving the camera, but
we're over, right?
we can be.
I thought we were over.
No, I thought you were gonna hit the ball square
okay,
on and
ready?
then
Here.